JacksonvilleHornets.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The Jacksonville Humane Society is offering an exclusive chance to win a suite for 20 to this Sunday's game against the Carolina Panthers. Go to jaxhumane.org/JagsTix. The wait is almost over as the ball will be kicked off in Everbank Stadium this Sunday at 1 with 1010XL coverage starting at 8 a.m. It's 81 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
It's the three of us, RJ Saunders and Aaron Beasley, joining us in studio today. Game week is finally here. I'm just going to sit back, let y'all talk football, and just rewind on the fabulous weekend that we had, starting really Friday night with all the college football. But Bees, welcome in. What is game week number one like for y'all?
Can't wait.
Feels like a holiday.
Yeah, no doubt. Like it's Christmas
It was yesterday
time.
a holiday.
Yeah, it's like Christmas time. Can't wait to get there. I mean, Thursday night, obviously, they kick it off with Philly and Dallas, and then you just wait until Sunday. You know, you're trying to be prepared, trying to keep that body right, and you know, try not to peak too early, Bees, because if you peak too early emotionally, you're not going to show up on game day. But you got to keep it all under control till they blow that whistle.
I was always on peak, so I don't know.
It's like, let's not peak.
Stay on the same level, you know. But that's the thing, you know.
It'll wear you out, though.
You practice hard. I mean, we did, you know, and it felt like you practice to the speed that you want to play.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to turn on a switch or flip a switch, as we say.
Right.
You know, you get out there and you put yourself in those moments.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it's visualization anyway.
Our Wednesdays, Taylor, like we got graded. Like our practices were graded like games. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, not so much because it's just like uppers and just running around. But Wednesday was a very physical day, regardless. Like you may even win and get Monday and Tuesday off. We're all like, yeah, we got 3 days off, you know, or 2 days off. But then come that Wednesday, full pads, you're hitting, you're blitzing, you're covering, you're running conditioning. I mean, it's like you better come prepared for that day. But they grade you that hard. So what Bees say, like, come Sunday, like you've already been through the ringer.
Yeah.
They've already ripped you a new one for making up mistakes and then congratulating you for when you made up for those, you know, throughout the week.
What grade wise? What are you like? It was a letter. They would say, "Hey, here's your."
We would get so my line. I don't know how your
Plus or
DBs
minus.
would,
Plus or minus.
Yeah, plus or minus for each game,
Okay.
and then they tally them up. Or each practice, they tally them up. How many minuses? How many pluses?
And then there was a punishment if it was bad, or what happened if
you know it's
Just
just
to keep you on,
critiquing.
just to keep you on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Just so you're always focused on that play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that's why I try to teach my kids, like, grade 100% every play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hustle,
Right.
you know, get off blocks, and it's all tallied into the grade.
Right, and you're practicing against the other team. You know what I mean? It's scout team. They got all the other teams' plays, so you're seeing these plays during the week, and then when they come up in the game, you're like, oh, I've seen this. I've already seen this. We've already practiced this. We've already been through it. I know what to expect and what's coming.
It's funny, when I went to Atlanta, one of the coaches would grade you on your change of speed, so that, or put it into a hustle technique where if the ball's thrown and you don't go as soon as the ball's thrown, a fraction of a second late is big in this game. So
yeah, I was hearing the boys earlier on primetime. They said Bama had 8 loafs.
20.
28?
20 total.
20 loafs?
At least
Man,
that's
I
what
thought
David
8 was
Loftus
bad.
said.
Are you kidding me? 20, we'd be running forever. We'd still be throwing up. I mean, 20 loaves as a team. Holy cow. I heard about the loaf the first time Coughlin had a team meeting at Boston College, and it was like you had no room for error. There was no loaves, like zero. If you got one loaf, you were waking up at 6 a.m. that next week during the season and running until you're like puking pretty much and had to go to class and all that other stuff. You did not want a loaf.
Okay, I found the tweet. 21 loaves is what Dan Orlovsky said from that, Alabama loss to FSU. So did players get benched if they strung too many minuses, like practices
It's basically
in a row?
you're not hustling.
Right.
Like play goes away from you and you stop or you just jog. And you're like, you got to run. You never know if that ball's going to get knocked out. You know if you got to make the tackle. Maybe your teammate misses somehow and you're just jogging. You'll see it. And then the guys that jogging, that they think the play's done and it's not. You can see the beat moment because they're like, they get on their horse. But yeah, it's basically not hustling.
all you got to do is look for one clap after a play.
Yeah.
You know, somebody one claps, it means, up.
Yeah.
I messed
My
up,
bad.
Exactly.
My bad.
It's a my bad moment, but yeah, loafs are terrible. That's
Probably the worst thing you could do on a football team.
Agreed.
Loaf.
Agreed. And mental errors too, but loaf is like physically you're not even trying. Like why would you even be out there? So that coach has got some work to do up in Alabama, man. He's got to change that because that's like uncalled for. You just can't have that. You can't have 3.
Yeah.
In a game out of a
20s.
team.
That's a culture problem for
Big time.
sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So Jaguars obviously take on the Panthers Sunday, 1:00 here at Everbank Stadium. Is this the best environment that Trevor Lawrence has had surrounding him yet?
Environment as far as guys around him, players?
The weapons, the play calling, the entire organization as a whole. Is this the best environment? Obviously, we know that in 2022, Trevor Lawrence and this team made the playoffs and certainly went on a bit of a postseason run. But I was starting to think about it today. Like, I think this is the best environment that he's had because you do have the head coach and GM pulling in the same direction. You do have, I think, the best receivers that he's had to date, probably the best running backs, and hopefully the best play caller. That's certainly one thing I'm leaning on is the play caller.
The only thing I'd caution is, look, in 22, they were good.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor was good. He was 25 touchdowns, 8 picks. They had a great running game, and they were a good team. The defense finally came around Dallas, and then they made their run. And so it's kind of hard. I agree with you on personnel-wise, but as far as outcome, I expect them to have a really good year this year. Part of it is no one knows what to expect. I mean, you can go back and look what Tampa did with Baker, and you can go back and look at that, but this is first time with our guys, and how they're going to run things and call things. So, you haven't put anything out on tape as far as that's concerned. So I think we'll have a leg up there. I think the accountability factor is there. You hear Liam Coen say it all the time, and I think it started with his quarterback and his footwork, and you've seen the improvement. But it's hard to say best environment because, look, if you go back 3 years today, we were so jacked up that Doug Peterson was our coach. Were we not? I mean, Super Bowl coach. He's going to bring us to the Super Bowl. This is going to be the year. And then even after that year, we thought, 23 was going to be the year. Like, holy cow, these guys are on their way. And then started off fine, and then it went the other way. So I think he's got better personnel around him. I'll say that. Play calling, you'd think, although Doug was pretty innovative early. I mean, those guys were wide open. They were wide open at 22. I mean, they rubbed them. They crossing routes. Those guys were always open, and Trevor delivered the ball. So I'm a little cautious to sit there and say that because I feel like we've been through this before. And I do think this year's going to be good, and then we'll see after that. But
yeah, I think you have to see the consistency because to that you saw a year where Doug was in the running for Coach of the Year that year. Press was being looked at for head coaching jobs after that year of 2022 when you started talking about the play calling side of things. So you can have that in moments. You need that. That's been the biggest issue here in Jacksonville is there's sparks of that, but there's never been able to fully ignite anything to last longer than a year or two. And we don't know that yet. I don't think you can say right now on September 2nd that you've done that. You have to see wins happen. You have to see it continuously.
Let's give it a couple of weeks.
Well, we won't be able to know until the end of the season, obviously.
Right. I mean, look, he didn't have Brian Thomas Jr. in 22, so that's a lot better. He didn't have Diami, who, look, here's the thing. Like, it's funny. I was talking earlier, like, we're so excited about this team because what we think. Carolina's pretty excited about their team, and they won one more game than us last year, and they're feeling good about how they're going to perform.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be
ending
easy.
of their season last year, the way that Bryce looked towards the end.
Yeah, Bryce did. I went back to look at that. Their defense wasn't that good. They held some, but Bryce definitely played better. Hubbard's a good back. They're going to try to be physical, I would imagine. But
big line.
I think across the league, except for maybe 5 to 7 teams, everybody thinks
they're going to win.
They've got a pretty good team, and it's all going to come together.
If that's not your goal. What are you in it for anyway?
Of course,
Right.
I would say Panthers fans, probably some of them are a little wary right now because they did trade away Adam Thielen, and you never want to go into a season with your young quarterback losing one of his consistent weapons from a season ago. And then they've got some injuries, certainly, whether it's the offensive tackle that just had,
he's got an appendectomy.
He had an emergency appendectomy. I did some research to try and figure out if his ruptured or not, because mine ruptured and there's no chance that I could have played football in less than 2 weeks. And they're saying he might be able to play week 1.
Maybe they caught it before.
I guarantee it was not
How long
ruptured.
ago was that? Science is a little different now.
Mine was only in 2023. It wasn't that long ago. But no, so I think Aquana will, even if he doesn't play, he'll probably be at least available. But obviously having one of their wide receivers, like I said, be traded and then another wide receiver go on injured reserve, like a guy they were excited about, and then Ted McMillan's had a little bit of an injury issue. So I think Panthers fans are probably excited for the season, but also just a little more concerned because their team's kind of coming in a little bit more banged up.
Yeah, I think maybe for week one, but I think they feel – I saw Canales have a quote about we're going to be a tough out. You know, they feel good about their team.
Sure.
They should. I mean, we'll see how it all shakes down on Sunday. I got them winning for the record, but I just don't think it. The Jags. I got the Jags winning. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You're talking Carolina.
No.
I
got
was going to
the Jags.
clarify what he means by day is
But
the
I don't
Jags.
think it's an easy out. I don't think they're just going to, show up and kick the crap out of the Panthers. I think it's going to be a very interesting game. And, look, we're not banged up, but we got plenty of question marks. I mean, we do that we're concerned about. That O-line's still concerning. Do we have a running game? The secondary, how are they going to line up? I feel good about obviously Jordan Lewis and the safeties, and then it comes to Trevor. Is Trevor going to be that quarterback that we need him to be? I think he is. I think he's looked pretty good. I think he's ready to take that step, but we still got to see it. So those to me, look, I went through it. I still got him going 9-8. I think higher than that's a little fluff, but you never know how it can go. I mean, you might have a win in week 14 right now, and then you get down to week 12, you're like, that game 2 weeks from now is going to be pretty darn tough. I have an easy W or a W, but maybe it's not a W. So it's going to be an exciting year. They're going to be a lot better than 4-13. That's for sure. I can say that. How much better remains to be seen.
And that's the other part of the environment is the defense. The defense was one of the worst, if not the worst. Yeah, as far as passing, certainly last year in the NFL, is the defense going to be able to help Trevor? You said the other day, Tom, you think this defense will be able to help the team
D-line for sure.
Yeah. And so, certainly all of those are question marks. So we'll continue the Jaguars conversation. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Every Friday in the fall is Pregame Friday.
Is this what I think it is? Yes, it is.
We'll get you ready for the games. Who's in, who's out.
This is what I'm talking about.
Built by Dream Finders Homes. Homes built to fit your lifestyle on 1010XL.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to american-electrical.com and see how they can help you.
Lauren Brooks here. Are you ready to ditch your razors for good? Hello Smooth Med Spa in St. John's is your go-to for laser hair removal that permanently reduces hair growth. With over 10 years in the community, 400 5-star reviews, and the latest technology, their team makes smooth, stubble-free skin easy. Packages include 9 sessions, and you'll see results fast. Right now, enjoy 50% off laser hair removal packages. Be sure to let them know Lauren from 1010XL sent you. Visit hellosmooth.com or stop by for your free consultation. Your skin will thank you.
Helmets and Heels.
Backed by Green Law Group.
For the insured.
Fighting for you.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Here's a reminder to get screened. Ackerman Cancer Center offers on-site imaging and other diagnostic services. Early detection saves lives. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
It was a long off-season, but the NFL is back. The NFL regular season is just days away. It's time. Kickoff week is built by Roland Reach Plumbing and KO Electric Heating and Air.
I hope you're ready.
Are you ready? I'm ready.
On 1010XL.
Guys, want a golf course fairway quality lawn? TopDressing.com just landed in Jacksonville with the golf course secret for St. Augustine grass homeowners. A patented process that aerates and turns your turf into a fairway stunner. Serious golf course technology, but in your yard. Less water, tighter cuts, total neighborhood domination. No one else scores a perfect 10 lawn. Hit TopDressing.com now. You will own the block. Top dress your yard like the pros with TopDressing.com.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a rodent problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Hey, it's Vegas time. This is former Jags linebacker Tom McManus from Helmets and Heels, and we want you to come and join us once again in Las Vegas for the Raiders game weekend. If you've not been to the Circus Stadium Swim, you're missing out on 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive 143-foot screen with all the current sports betting action. Plus, all you Jaguar fans are invited to huddle up with Helmets and Heels at the Overhang Bar with our pregame tailgates on Friday with drink specials and special giveaways.
Lauren Brooks here. Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, and myself will be broadcasting Helmets and Heels live on air from a stadium swim cabana on Friday, October 31st. Then hosting the wildly popular Jacksonville Huddle Up Friday evening at the Overhang Bar inside Circa. If you were there last year, you know you won't want to miss it. If you've already booked your flight to Vegas for the big game and are still searching for accommodations, stay where we're staying at Circa Resort and Casino from October 30th to November 3rd.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra, maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Tom McManus, Aaron Beasley in studio with us, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. The AP Top 25 just came out, so we'll get it back to the NFL football.
Right.
Did want to give you an update. Ohio State 1, no surprise there. Penn State 2, LSU 3, Georgia 4, Miami 5, Oregon 6, Texas 7, Clemson is 8, Notre Dame now 9. South Carolina moves up to number 10 in the country, and then Florida is now 13th with one spot behind them. The FSU Seminoles crack now the top 15 there, ranked 14th in the country.
Nice.
So talk about a glow
win.
up in week 1. You go from unranked to certainly beating Alabama the way that you did, and now you are 14th in the country. So certainly. By the way, I looked at the schedule for week 2. For college football. Like, thank goodness we have the NFL this weekend. Mm-hmm. It's not a great slate. I'm like, you guys delivered so well in week 1. You can't then come back in week 2 and not give us a ton of ranked matchups. Like, that's not fair. But either way,
well, maybe that's planned because the NFL wants their shining moments.
But that's on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, you got Thursday, you got Friday, you got Sunday. It's their weekend, right? Yeah. Last weekend was college football. And
poor high school football. The NFL is going to broadcast on Friday night this year.
Save the kids. Save the kids.
Poor Bees is like, tell me about it.
Hey, but hats off to Florida State, man. That was a huge win. Thomas Castellanos, he balled, man.
He did.
I said it. I don't like the way he left BC, but he really did. He showed up. Bama. You got your ass beat. I mean, literally. And Florida State's defense is physical. Mm-hmm. They get after that. Number 0, the safety, he was coming up like lightning, man, and lighting people up. I love seeing that. So good. Congrats to Florida State. It was a big win. It was a big win for them.
Florida State is a blue blood, though. So they get the talent. It's just
they should
putting the right pieces together. But last year, no quarterback. Well, he was a quarterback.
He was. He tried.
That lets you know how much of a mental game it is. And I think physically, yes, he looks like that guy, 6'5", 250, throwing 80 yards. But
doesn't always connect.
Yeah, but the confidence shows.
Big time.
Castellanos.
He
predicted that
different.
win this summer.
Yeah.
I mean, after what he said, he was setting himself up for such failure. And in the end, I do start to wonder, maybe there was just a conversation he and Bill O'Brien had, and maybe he didn't just completely walk away. Tom, you might know more than I do.
He walked away.
They pulled him away.
Yeah,
he got benched. He never showed back up at the facility.
Yeah.
I mean, he left.
I didn't know if there was a conversation like, we've moved on, and so you can move on.
He benched him. Yeah. He benched him, and then the kid's like, well, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
so
just didn't show back up.
Yeah, well, it was, certainly FSU on the ground, 230 yards is impressive against Alabama. And to your point, Earl Little Jr. is number 0. And
he was balling.
He's really good.
Yep.
And Justin Cryer, I thought, had a good game, too. All right.
Yeah.
The Jaguars updated some numbers yesterday. Tim Patrick will wear number 17. Dennis Gardeck, number 47. So just as we had gotten used to, Gardeck wearing 57. He'll now be 47. Colin Saunders, 96. Dewan Smoot, 98. And Austin Johnson, 99. That goes along with your 2025 captains. No surprise, it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. I think center Robert Hainsey shouldn't surprise people either, considering he knows the offense and the relationship he obviously has developed with Trevor. Josh Hines-Allen, Foye Oluokun, no surprises there. They've been captains before. Jordan Lewis, who is also a newcomer, being named a captain, and then Logan Cook for the special teams players. To me, the one that it says the most about is probably Jordan Lewis, just because you do have guys like Tyson Campbell, who's been around, like a Jarian Jones, who's very vocal, as we know. But Jay Lou, as they call him, he came in, and I feel like he established something on that defensive side already.
Yeah, well, he made a ton of plays, so I could see that. And he talks. He's probably a good locker room presence. Hainsey, I thought was a little bit of a surprise, but I get it because he's the center and, he's got all that. But whatever, just play well and we'll love you.
Hopefully we never talk about Robert Hainsey on Mondays. That's the goal.
Yeah,
we never talk about the center.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
We never had that decision, though. We never picked our captains.
Yeah, that's
It was always by Tom.
Yeah.
By Tom.
Yeah.
By the way, happy birthday to Tom. He's turning 79 on
79,
Sunday.
yeah.
Oh,
Happy birthday,
birthday.
Coach. Yep.
Yeah, when it comes to Jordan Lewis, I think that, you're heading into this is your 9th season. Everybody you've seen, like if you follow any of the secondary on Instagram, they all post about him constantly of how like big bro type, blah, blah, blah. So I wasn't surprised at that at all. I think he kind of took that over very early on of being the guy kind of reeling in the secondary. And I also think there was a lot of injuries happening in the secondary. So there was a lot of movement when Tyson was hurt. And then obviously when it comes to Ransaw and all these other players, and Travis got hurt and Buster Brown's been hurt. So Jordan's been the one that's just been out there kind of making sure everything stayed together. And he did a great job doing that throughout the offseason, especially being the newcomer. So I wasn't surprised at all that it was him.
The elder statesman making plays. That's always a powerful thing in the locker room.
That's the best thing right
especially when they're ballers. You know what I mean? Then you're like, oh, this guy's the best.
The younger guys want to know because
they do.
We had Carnell come in.
Yep.
We all kind of stuck with Carnell.
Oh yeah, Carnell Lake.
You want to get that veteran, experience because they teach you how to be a pro, and with the younger guys. Really, when I got here, we were so young, and we didn't have that vet like these guys do now.
Log probably was the vet.
But as a group though, in the secondary.
Oh, in the secondary for sure.
Once you get that Carnell Lake come in, you work out different.
Dana Hall was good though. I love Dana Hall. He come up and rock you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was good safety. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. No, but those veterans that ball, they bring a lot to the locker room. Because you're like, okay, he backs it all up, so he's going to play. When he talks, you listen. You know what I mean? Whether it was Andre Rison for us, Clyde Simmons. Yeah. When Clyde became our teammate, for me, I was like, holy cow, Clyde Simmons he's on our team? Yeah. And remember, it was during the preseason. We got him like the last game of the preseason. And we're like, oh my gosh, we're getting Clyde? Oh, man, this is unbelievable. And then he came in and was just dominating right from the get-go. And you're like,
didn't say much.
No, he didn't.
Just practice.
No, and here's a great little thing. This is how Tom Coughlin. Speaking of Tom Coughlin, his birthday went on. We'll talk real quick, but he had this this dictator type persona, and he did have some of that. But he said you can't wear your baseball cap in practice. Well, guess who kept the baseball cap in his back? Was Clyde Simmons. And every time he got off with his three plays, he took his cap on and put it on. And Tom never said a word. It was like, all right, well, you're Clyde. You can
do what you want.
The vet respect.
The veteran, that. So I could see Jordan Lewis, and he backed it up. I mean, that guy, you saw him make plays every practice, I think.
Yeah, for sure. On the offensive line, I think if we were to have guessed, we might have guessed Ezra Cleveland, again, based off of play, not necessarily the vocal leadership.
Right. And that's part of being a captain. You can't be quiet. You know what I mean? You can, you can lead by example. I don't mean you have to be a screamer, but you gotta at least be somewhat vocal. So maybe Hainsey is that kind of guy.
A little more
vocal. And he does get the line together, and we know how important that is. So I can see it. I'm not bagging on it at all. But I could definitely see Jordan Lewis and why the newcomer came and stepped right in and became a captain.
How do you guys feel about it? Not technically here, but it always feels like the teams automatically choose the quarterback, and maybe some teams shouldn't. When it comes to the Colts, for example, I don't know if Daniel Jones should be your captain for the season. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean,
Like,
look,
should a quarterback have to be a captain?
not have to be, but your quarterback should be one of the leaders for sure. Whether he's vocal, backs it up, or both. He should be. I mean, he's in the alpha seat.
What if Anthony Richardson's starting week 5 and they just swap on? Like, what happens at that point?
Yeah, we changed the captaincy at that point in time.
Well,
it's like in soccer when the captain runs off the field, they have to take their armband off and give it to the next person.
Right.
So, I think, to Tom's point, I think you just automatically have to have the QB, and that's the signal caller. So they have to be the leader.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it would be mentally harmful if the quarterback isn't,
Yeah, right.
Don't name him one.
Why not me? Yeah.
Because he is the guy that turns everything for the program. He's the face of the franchise.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, he's a mouthpiece. I think for Daniel Jones, this is just guessing, but they probably feel like if he is benched, he'll be a good steward. He'll be a good teammate. He'll be a good captain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
It was already benched, so.
no, I know. I mean,
He's like, been there, done that.
I mean, look, you got special teams guys as captains. You know what I mean? I mean, they're very important, but they're not like the quarterback.
Right. And every team
Those
does
are
it
our best
differently.
players.
Right. Like the Panthers only have 3. Bryce Young is included in theirs. Taylor mentioned Travis Hunter. I want to talk about Travis Hunter against the Panthers.
Okay.
Do you think we see him start on both sides of the ball? Do you think we see him start only as a wide receiver and then do more sub packages when it comes to defense? What do you think?
Tyson healthy in this scenario? Campbell?
That's a great question. Also, we will find out. Our first injury report that the teams will release will be tomorrow. So we'll at least be able to identify, is he listed at all as far as an injury status is concerned. I will guess that he's healthy. That's just a guess. What I should say is I'm just going to put him as healthy in this hypothetical.
I say definitely offense, and they work him in on defense.
Okay.
Although, now, ego, I don't mean ego in a bad way, but you drafted him for a reason. I could see them being like, no, you're going
gonna
out
do
there,
both. Yeah.
starting on both sides, because that's what we drafted you for.
He is coming off of the upper body injury. He is fully cleared.
Yeah.
But again, he
How much do you
What it
force
was.
that?
right. He did miss about 10 or 11 practice days.
I wonder
too.
what it was. Anybody here, was it a shoulder, a rib, or in between the ribs? Because those
Yeah, I
things
don't
can
know.
hurt.
I never heard. There
Never
were
heard that.
They
no
didn't
leaks
mention
The
for me.
mysteries.
He was
So-
pregnant.
If they come out in 3 wides, is that starting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if they come out in nickel on defense, is that starting?
I say yes.
Yeah.
If he's on the field, when both teams start on each side of the ball, then I say yeah.
so
That's
there's a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
I mean, most teams.
I also wouldn't be surprised if it's, to Tom's point, he starts as a receiver or plays more offensively, and who cares as far as the starting part of things. But if it's more Tyson, Jari, and Jordan, if those are your 3 starting backs.
All right, here's a question for you. Who's my starting corners with Tyson? Is it Jordan and Tyson, and then you slide Jordan in? Or is it?
That's what I say it is.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I
What do
think
you
it's-
Beast?
I think Jordan should go to the nickel.
But he's going to
But if
start as a
there's-
corner? You know what I mean? Or is he just start nickel?
Start as my corner.
What's that?
He makes more money. Well, that's a lot of the factor. I mean, he's the number 2 pick of the draft. I mean, I feel like,
he should be the corner.
If we're going to spend all that capital,
Yeah,
you
no,
gotta
I
get
get
your
it.
money's worth, and him playing both sides. I kind of agree with Ryan Clark. It took me a week to be like, he's right. But
He's right if he doesn't hold up.
Yeah, you got to play on both sides. I say start on both sides is maybe getting 70 plays, maybe. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's what they drafted him
35 and
for.
35,
I mean,
something like that.
you know how I feel. I want him to score touchdowns.
Yeah.
I want to win.
if
I don't care.
No,
where
right.
And they're not going to tell us these things because it's a competitive advantage not to tell us.
Yeah.
By the way, he can score touchdowns on picking off passes, too.
Yeah,
so,
of course. You get him on both sides.
Yeah, get 'em.
That's what you're hoping
went-
at this point.
He went big in our fantasy league.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
You can get both points.
No, right.
Yeah, it depends on how your fantasy is
I
structured.
could. I mean, look. I don't know if it's my shiny new toy. I might want to
Show him off.
throw it out there
Yeah.
and show him off. You know
The
what I mean?
Panthers
Like,
don't scare me as much as far as their weapons offensively as the next week in the Bengals.
Yeah, and that's why I could see them maybe easing things in this week. Number one, because he had been injured for a bit coming into this, and then you had that preseason game which you didn't see anything from, obviously. And so maybe they ease things in. Maybe you see him a little bit more offensively this game, mixed in defensively, and then when you're more worried about the offensive weapons, a little, and know exactly what you're covering too, because I think that's the question with the Panthers too, is when you're talking about what their roster looks like right now. You haven't seen Tet in the NFL. Hunter Renfrow hasn't been the strongest, and he actually didn't play last year. He was injured. So there's a lot of ifs when it comes to there. So I think that you want to show him off a little. You want to show your shiny toy against an opponent in week 2, like more like a week 2 opponent more than maybe forcing it this week.
Yeah, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, that's week 2, obviously. But to your point, I think they are still figuring this out. I think they had a plan probably going in, and they're still trying to figure out now that Jalen Coker, I mentioned the wide receiver for the Panthers, went on IR. Maybe this Jaguars organization has now decided, let's not throw him in to start both sides and make sure that he's playing 50% on each side of the ball. Let's make him focus a little bit more on one side. But then again, maybe they've been sitting back and like just being so excited about, to Tom's point, the shiny new toy, and being like, all right, Panthers, good luck. Here's Travis.
Well, at the end of the year, what do we expect? You know, I mean, do we expect that he plays a significant time on both sides of the ball when we look at it at the end of the year?
Yeah, it's hard for me.
You would hope
he's got to
that.
play both, right? I mean, he's got to play both.
That's what he said he wants to do.
Right.
And that's why they drafted him.
Mm-hmm. So. It's hard for me because I think he's a better corner, but I think there's maybe more depth at corner than there is at receiver.
Yep,
but I think he's a more natural corner. I've been saying that since before he was drafted.
Yeah, and that's what when you go, I've said this before too. I think it'll be very situational. So if they come in and the offense is struggling, maybe you want him on the offense a little bit more. Or if the defense is struggling, you're like, hey, we got to get Travis on that side of the ball a little more. So I do think it could be game to game, and honestly half to half. Like the first half, your offense looks great and everything's flowing, and you don't really feel like you need Tyson in that environment, but the defense is struggling and you feel like you need your best, second best or best corner out there, then you play him the majority of that side. I think it could be very half to half, quarter to quarter basis for this, for at least the beginning of the season.
I think we'd all agree Brian Thomas, Diami, and Travis Hunter would be a tough trio to defend on offense. Oh, yeah. For sure. You flip
and
it around
add
the
in
defense.
Strange as far as tight end.
You flip it around the defense. As long as the D-line's playing well, you can get by with Jari, and you can get by with Jordan. And I don't mean that in a negative way. They can be
I
your
love
guys.
Jari.
Tyson, those guys can get it done if need be. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would think they'd want to show him off a little bit. I maybe not start him, but definitely, get him out there quite a bit and see what he can do on defense as well.
If he has a touchdown and an interception, not necessarily a pick six, but if he has a touchdown and an interception,
Rookie of the year.
Everyone who hates
both sides of the ball.
Yeah, everyone who hates the Jaguars and the coverage that the Jaguars get, just sit back, relax, and enjoy because it's going to be a ton of Travis Hunter coverage. All right, Tom's takeaways are on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels, provided by Green Law Group.
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performancepainting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Your doctor says your testosterone is normal. Normal for who? Beta males? That's where those lab ranges come from. Male Excel uses optimal levels, where you were at 25, not where outdated mainstream medicine thinks you should be. Our protocol is different, daily dosing, multiple hormones, personalized to your body, not some insurance company's spreadsheet. This is precision medicine, not sick care. Try MaleExcel.com, free test. Stop being normal. Start being optimal.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Coen Flowers announces their home holiday decorating team is now taking orders for the holiday season. This is JJ with 1010XL. No more hassling with tree buying, untangling, and hanging burned out lights. Call on Coen Flowers, they'll do it all.
Jacksonville,
It's game time, and just like the Jaguars fight for every yard on the field, Duck Duck Rooter fights for every customer at home. From plumbing repairs to septic pump outs to keeping your AC cool all season long, we've got the winning playbook. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and delivers championship service every time. When plumbing, septic, or AC problems put you on defense, don't fumble the call. Dial 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have two choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beards has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses in fine print. Beards has all the top designers, including Tacori and Viraggio. Beards doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beards Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beards in the St. John's Town Center.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Here is Danzy now, and look at Mekhi Danzy. How about it, Knowles?
I mean, we talked about Mekhi Danzy this offseason with the speed that he was going to bring to this FSU team. And look, they should be feeling really good this week. But not everyone should be completely sold that FSU is king and Alabama's the worst team in college football. You could extrapolate that to other teams as well, right, Tom? Take it away.
That's right. Absolutely.
Now,
Okay, it's go time.
Tommy's Takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
Yeah, my takeaway for today is, look, we're all excited about week one, whether our college football teams performed well last week or NFL teams getting ready for this week. But the reality is you can only tell so much about week one. You know, you don't really know until about week four what kind of team you're really going to have. They could start off 4-0. They could start off 1-3. But all that matters is how they end the season. So, yeah, we want to crown certain teams. It's okay. Fans are allowed to do that. But the reality is we don't know what these teams are going to be like. I don't know if Alabama's 8th in the country. Clearly they weren't. Now, all of a sudden, Florida State's 14th. Maybe they are. You know, I don't know. You only know after one game. I know this. Boise State was not the 25th team in the country. They were terrible. I don't even know how you do that. But at the end of the day, listen, I'm excited for this weekend big time. And I hope our Jags come away with a victory. And whether they win or lose, it's just one game out of the 17. It'll only tell part of the story. So we're going to talk about that's what we do on sports radio. You fans are going to talk about that's what you do. But at the end of the day, I'm going to keep it in perspective because that's the deal. You don't know what you got after just one game. And that's my takeaway today, brought to you by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Yeah, I think people, because it's the Panthers week one, and we've kind of had this conversation, if it was a more difficult opponent, then maybe fans would stay a little more level-headed. But because it's the Panthers and they weren't a great team, and again, I know the Jaguars weren't a good team last year either. However, fans around here are going to be focused solely much more on their team and the positive, outcomes that they envision. And because it's the Panthers, if the Jaguars lose week one, and y'all already know this, next week is going to be an absolute disaster.
I don't think
so. No, I don't think so.
I mean, think about it. Look, if Trevor's on his game, they can go toe-to-toe with Cincinnati all day long. Yeah.
Oh, she's just saying the reactions.
Yeah.
The reactions from reactions. You lose to the Panthers at home week one.
Correct.
Yeah.
What do you think's happening in Alabama at Tuscaloosa today?
I know.
Well,
they're going crazy.
They came into it already not sure about their head coach, obviously, in Kalen DeBoer after Nick Saban. And that's why we always say you don't want to follow a legend. It's too difficult to follow a legend.
No, thank you.
Right, exactly.
Hire somebody, call me after that one doesn't work.
Right, yeah.
The rebound guy never works long term.
Or just don't coach Dallas.
Yeah.
Don't coach Dallas.
I was talking to one of my friends that covers Washington, covers the Huskies, and he was obviously they're kind of upset with Caleb, like the way that DeBoer left them and the way that he left and kind of how everything ended there. And so they're all rooting for him to fail. But he was like, it also kind of sucks because he was a good dude when he was here. They just didn't like the ending of it. Right. So it's always kind of like the grass isn't greener on the other side type of thing. And so when during that game, I was like, they might leave DeBoer and they might leave him in Tallahassee. Yeah. And he was like, that's what he gets.
Well,
that's
he
college
got
football
his pass
for you.
last year, right? Going
yeah, you do.
9-4.
You get that season.
He got his pass,
yeah.
But now, no, you can't.
Do you
can't lose to an unranked team, whether they're good or not. You just can't lose to them.
Do you think him not being like a physical-minded or tough-minded coach is the problem? Because I don't see them as
It is hard to come
they're very
from
different.
They're not as
Pac-12.
mean as they used to be, you know?
No, right. I mean, they didn't have the fire up front. Like, we're the big. They're normally like extremely big, extremely fast, and
They run
extremely
the ball
mean.
well every single year. They could not run the
their
football.
trenches. They were awful. They were getting out physicaled in both sides of the trenches, and that's always been Alabama's. That's been Alabama's thing.
Yeah, that's their calling card.
Yeah.
They're going to have guys drafted from the offensive line and the defensive line every single year. So the Alabama schedule, they play Louisiana Monroe at home. That's a win. Then they play Wisconsin. Wisconsin played better than they did last year. Like, their quarterback looked decent, but still, Alabama should, in theory, win that game. And then you have Alabama at Georgia. September 27th, 7:30 kick. So between the hedges, Georgia's now won 32 straight at home. That's an FBS record. So, I mean, that I feel like, and then, oh, by the way, Alabama plays host to Vanderbilt the very next week. One of the teams that they lost last year. And Diego Pavia, and we talked about this last week. Alabama's defense a lot of times struggles with a mobile quarterback. Yeah. And that's exactly what Gus Malzahn dialed up. And I'm with you, Tom. Arch Manning is not a terrible quarterback and shouldn't be benched. Like, wait and see. Ohio State, certainly with Matt Patricia as the defensive coordinator, they knew what to do against him in one of his first starts. You could look across. Notre Dame is not a team that's going to lose a lot of games this year, obviously. Now, not that people are saying they're terrible, but there's a lot of teams that right now feel like, we have the quarterback that's going to win the Heisman, and then other teams that think, like, well, we fell on our face. Like, Clemson fans are obviously not happy right now.
Oh, definitely.
But still, like, Cade Klubnik still played fairly well.
I was surprised that Arch Manning wasn't more confident. You know, that first pass.
He played confident last year.
That first pass, the guy's wide open. Just hit him, man. Yeah. And then that third down late in the game. I'm not saying, but man, it's like he's wide open. You throw a sidearm. You do this sidearm crap, and it sails on you behind him. And all you got to do is put it right out in front of him. That could have been a first down easy.
Yeah, I think maybe because the offensive line didn't protect him as well as maybe he thought going into it.
Yeah. Defense usually starts faster.
Yeah.
You know, so.
That game was boring, by the way.
Honestly,
14-7. It was perfect.
They only had 5 passes thrown in the first half, right?
I
love good defense.
I honestly
these points.
I was kind of underwhelmed by a lot of them. Like, a lot of the games that we're supposed to, like, we've hyped up so much. I was like, oh, like, this doesn't look like top 15 teams to me that are playing. But there's two things in that. Number one, and we've talked about this last week, I've done tangents on it. Preseason rankings, I wish they would just go away. It's so dumb. Like, they're so terrible. Totally it makes that week almost worse. Like, what could be a really fun week worse, because you do have these high expectations of, number 1, number 2, or number 25 Boise State and all of this stuff. No, there's definitely teams that were ranked that should not have been ranked, or at least should have been ranked lower than what they were. And then number 2, I know you hate this, Lauren, but this is why I also say I wish that college football had a preseason game or two, because especially when you have the young guys, like Notre Dame, for example, they have a redshirt freshman quarterback coming in, and you could tell that after 2.5 quarters, things started to settle, and he was looking more comfortable. If he would have had one preseason game, I feel like it would have helped him just be a little more comfortable. At least it would have not taken 2.5 quarters, maybe a quarter to kind of settle in. And that's the example that I have, because obviously being a Notre Dame fan, but there were several of those that I saw throughout. A lot of the young quarterbacks struggled. When you talk about Arch, when you talk about there was another one that I saw that I was like, this guy should be, I feel like, ahead of where he is. And because you're just getting thrown in and you're not hitting, you can't hit the quarterback in practice. So these guys aren't getting that pressure and seeing what it really looks like. So I do wish that, and I know it's not going to happen. But those are two things when it comes to college football that I feel like would make week ones better, but probably we're never going to see
Definitely preseason rankings should go away. I've been saying that for years.
Wait for the first month, and then do it. Then you can do the rankings.
Next week is their preseason game.
Right. But it's also these people, the AP voters, they can't watch every single game. Like they have no idea. And also these rosters change so much nowadays.
They're all new rosters. Well, half new rosters for a lot of the teams by the time you get there.
Right.
So there's no way you can calculate that a team that was 10 at the end of last year is going to be that if they lost half of their starters to the draft and in the portal.
Yeah. I'll tell you who was a fun game to watch, Tennessee and Syracuse. Yeah. And that
that was one of the more fun.
Joey Aguilar.
Yeah.
He threw the most beautiful bomb. Did you see that down the middle?
And look who won.
I know.
Well,
that's
UCLA.
Quarterback swap.
Yeah, right.
Tennessee's quarterback.
That's right.
UCLA.
That's right.
And UCLA got throttled.
But I think what she was saying, though, the young quarterbacks is so important because when you're on the road and the real bullets are flying, it's in the world of 7-on-7 where nobody touches you, have 3 or 4 seconds to throw the ball.
Everybody looks good.
But now when you put the real game planning in there, and that pass rush is coming. These teams were not playing some average defenses.
Yeah,
Ohio State is a great D.
No doubt. That's why I think a lot of young QBs have to be able to run. Because when you got to use your legs to get out of dodge. You can't sit there and think you're going to figure it out. It's your first game. They're probably disguised, and they're coming at you from all angles. And if you can't get out of dodge and make something happen, I think it's a tough tough job for you.
Yeah.
It is. It's
Run,
really
slide,
tough.
get your 5 yards.
Yeah, right. Just enable them to keep moving and get out of the pocket when you have to and get those few yards, get that first down, get into some rhythm, and then the passes will kind of flow a little bit easier, I think.
I've always thought, too, if you have a mobile quarterback, you better have a backup mobile quarterback. Like your backup QB better also be able to run. I used to complain about that when the Jags had Blake Bortles. Like anybody behind him wasn't able to have that skill set. And so then you have to change your offense entirely, which I feel like for Florida's sake, if anybody watched that game that forced me to do 275 push-ups, yes, I did a lot of them on my knees. DJ Lagway's backup now, Tramel Jones Jr. out of Mandarin. Thank you, Taylor. It looked fantastic and also is mobile. So I don't think you have to change the offense if something happens. To Lagway. All right, we have to say goodbye to you. You have practice.
Yeah.
Go get a piece.
We'll be out there in that heat, enjoying it.
You can do it.
Enjoying it sounds like.
How many more weeks? How many games do you guys play? What kind of schedule?
10 games.
You get 10? Okay, cool.
So,
all right.
We'll be out there.
Rock and roll.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. We've got more to do on the other side, including Taylor Dahl's Tangent. It's 1010X on 92.5 FM.
1010XL is your home for play-by-play of Bishop Kenny football.
It's 2 teams without a loss, and something's got to give on the banks of the St. Johns. To Coy Creek, Bishop Kenny, Friday at 7 on 92.5 FM.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Helmets and heels.
Bought for you by Queen Law Group on 1010XL.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 2nd, 1978, the Yankees right fielder Reggie Jackson hits his 20th home run of the season, the 19th Major League player to hit 20 home runs in 11 straight seasons.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Denny Thompson here. Look, don't get left in the dark. We're all trying to reason with hurricane season, so at least be prepared. For top-of-the-line generators in Jacksonville, I turn to Tyson. Licensed pros at Tyson deliver reliable, whole-home standby generators and provide fast repair service. They even do custom installations for local businesses, so don't wait. Ensure seamless installation and peace of mind. Call Tyson now, 904-762-1000 for a free estimate on generator services. TysonInc.com.
Jeff Lagerman for Napa Auto Care Centers. This football season, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or travel to the away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any one of the 29 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions. Napa Auto Care Centers offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find one near you at jacksnapaAutoCareGroup.com.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
Morgan Conley Roofing isn't just repairing roofs. He's building a legacy for generations to come. Born here, built here, staying here. MorganConleyRoofing.org. License number CCC 1333544.
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Oh, Saturday sun, I met someone out on the West Coast. I gotta get back, I can't let this go.
Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Thanks again to Bees for joining us. He'll be back next week, and we will have game film to break down as the Jaguars play host to the Panthers on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Yeah, I think you wake up differently in football season, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, we have the long weekend, so yay, that's obviously a great thing. But B, you just get excited. Like Saturday mornings, it's just like, oh
feels
my
different.
gosh, yeah, it feels different. Sunday mornings, it does. It just feels different. And then, like you said earlier, we have football this Thursday night. We have football this Friday night.
Yep.
And then I told you the college football slate's not great. I'm sorry. Duval Doom tweeted me and was like, every week too in college football is terrible. I'm like, I don't know if that's the case, but it does make sense. Like they build up week one so much, and then they know you're just going to watch regardless week two. So they just feed you some of these just not great games, but that's okay. We'll still be watching. I think so. I saw Florida as a 19-point favorite over South Florida. I'm not necessarily a betting gal, but I feel like South Florida is going to keep it closer than 19 points.
Yeah, that one I don't know, because I feel like it's hard to tell if Boise State's just that bad without Ashton Genty. I mean, he did have 30 of their 60 touchdowns last year. Yeah. So you lose a guy with that got half your touchdowns and half your yards, it's going to drastically change your team if you're not ever able to reload that, which it's hard to reload an Ashton Genty. But some teams, like Texas has done it with their running backs pretty well the last 5, 6, 7 years, where one gets out when Bijan leaves, you kind of get that next guy up next. And so it will be, I don't know though. I think that week 2 will be a better indication of how good USF is and how bad Boise State is. I think we'll get a better indication this week.
I feel like Boise, I mean, no disrespect to USF. Obviously, they played well. They scored a ton of points, 34 points. But Boise just didn't look good. They kind of looked terrible, to be honest with you.
Well, South Florida has Florida this week and Miami next week.
Yeah, so we'll definitely see.
Yeah, we'll
know before the end of the month.
What'd you say, 19 or 16?
19.
That is big, I feel like.
That might be a little rich for me, but I don't know. Again, like you don't know. Like, so cut it maybe in half, you know what I mean? Like, as far as South Florida and what they did with Boise. Like, so they beat them 34-7. Let's just say it was a little bit, you know what I mean? Because it was the first game, you know, so cut their points down a little bit. Obviously,
Florida
you guys played nobody.
Florida played Long Island, which
oh my gosh, those poor kids. I wonder how many went to the hospital after the game. No, I'm kidding. It's like beating up a frat house. You got a bunch of little dudes. They're all beat up for the next week or something.
Like, I understand wanting to play an easier team week 1 because that is kind of what you use as preseason, so to speak. But I think you have to play all Division I programs. Yeah. It has to be an FBS program or we're not going to let it fly. Yeah. But again, Long Island, however much money they made, they rode off into the sunset down 55-0 and said, please don't ever send us back.
Yeah, don't make us go there.
Please don't make us go back to the swamp with the 90+ thousand. I know. All right, right now Taylor Dahl has a tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
So I'm going to go back to a conversation we were having at the top of the show about Alabama and the culture and what is kind of happening there. And so I saw a report, and it was someone who has covered Alabama for over 25 years. So he's been through 3 coaches now. This is on to the 3rd coach since he's been covering Alabama. And he goes into a lot of just kind of bullet points of what he's seen the biggest changes since Kalen DeBoer has taken over and Saban has left, and just everything from portal to recruiting to all of the things. But one of the ones that stuck out to me, I'm going to read exactly what he wrote, because to me it sticks out more culturally and how different things are right now. Is this something that, is this who Kalen DeBoer is? Is he going to be able to reel this in? That's going to be the interesting thing. But so he said, I spent time around the team hotel for 25 plus years, and I will tell you, DeBoer's tenure is much closer to Shula than Saban. Players are walking around at 1:30 a.m. getting DoorDash deliveries of fast food the night before the game. I've seen players with random friends coming in and out of the hotel until 1 and 2 a.m. They couldn't get
friends.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
They couldn't get organized to leave team hotel on time without confusion. As soon as I was around this, I could not get it out of my head, because you could see it was an organization that looked second class by the way it was run. Since witnessing that last year, I've held hope, but my eyes, brain, and gut all told me this is going to be bad when being around it.
I mean, that speaks volumes. If players aren't doing what they absolutely should be doing the night before, that does feel like writing on the wall from the outsider's perspective.
Well, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, where's security at the hotel? Like, you're not getting DoorDash. Yeah. Go back to your room. We gave you a snack at 10 o'clock.
I was going to say, why do you need food at that time?
Yeah.
There ain't no friends the night before the game. Get them out of here. What are you talking about?
You can't even get organized to get on your bus and leave. Could you imagine that with Saban? Like, you don't even get to the bus in time to leave?
Never happened. None of that would happen.
No way.
None of that
and
would
Mike Norvell on the flip side has always run a tight ship.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just that when you have everything structured and organized that your team's going to be good.
right.
It's not automatically that.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to have all that going on and your team try to compete and to win a national championship, which should be Alabama's goal every single year.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like, I know part of it is Saban. A part of it is like the way that Saban structured everything. And he was obviously a lot more fierce than what Kalen DeBoer is. And we've seen coaches kind of change anyways from those hard-nosed, tough coaches. You don't have as many of those left in college football or the NFL as you used to. But I also think at some point you would think, you've mentioned this, Tommy, that, when do the players start saying, we're Alabama? Like, we're not supposed to be losing to Florida State week 1, who just won 2 games last year. No, but it doesn't feel like they even have that right now. So how much is it just the comfort level? You get recruited by Alabama and you're like, I am going to Alabama, and they win championships, and that's what it is. And so you get in this comfort level, and then now you actually have to work, and it changes things. And then you don't have that coach that's really that more dictator type personality of, no, you are doing this.
Well, clearly he's trying to do it opposite the way Nick did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look, you don't have to
recommend that.
You don't have to do it exactly like Nick, but
No.
I mean, you got to have some parameters. I mean, friends coming in night before, you shut that down. Like, you go to the hotel, you may have a couple hours to visit with family or whoever. 10 o'clock comes, like, you're done. Like, if you can't fall asleep, too bad. Watch some movie in your room. You're not going anywhere. Put security on every floor to stop it. That's got to stop. Jeez, that's just, I mean, look, you don't have to be that dictator today. I get that, but you got to have some structure. And that doesn't sound like they've got much structure going on under that coach.
Who was the writer that...
So the screenshot that I saw of it doesn't have the writer, because the guy posted it. I'll have to find the original post, and I'll find his Twitter and say it from there, because it was more of just bullet points throughout his Twitter. It was a whole thread.
I was just curious as to who Kalen DeBoer is not going to speak to potentially when it comes to the next press meeting. All right. By the way, did y'all see the poor Oregon Duck mascot? Did y'all see?
Oh my gosh,
happened?
The poor guy.
Yeah.
He fell.
I showed that. Yes, I showed that to some friends, and they watched it.
I watched
5
it so many times
in a row. Yeah.
Poor guy. First of all, the way he falls, I was like, he stumbled and like rolled, and then he's just like, I gotta get out of here.
Because that's what the rules say, is you can't
let people see you.
Right. Headless as a mascot. And by the way, also congratulations to Lee Corso, the amazing career that he had, and he got all of his picks right, which I thought was really impressive. All right, we've got more to do on the other side. It's 10-10X on 92.5 FM.
Get national insight from a local legend.
I know exactly who this man is.
Mike Duraco.
And we get his insight every Thursday from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today with Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Written by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. It's a sauce kind of football season with Chick-fil-A chicken strips. Each crispy, juicy bite only gets better when you choose your favorite sauces to dip into and create your own flavor combinations. Will it be sriracha and ranch, honey and buffalo, barbecue and Chick-fil-A sauce with 21 different sauce pairings possible? It's easy to go on a flavor adventure. Order in a 4-count, 10-count, or in a catering tray. Get an order started today in the Chick-fil-A app and dip on into football season.
Hacker here, and you guys know I always tell you the benefits of Awaken 180 weight loss. Well, I had another one last week. I went down to Disney for Mickey's not-so-scary Halloween party, right? And I actually dressed up in a costume along with my wife and my son. Now, 100 pounds ago, I would not have ever dreamed of dressing up in a costume nor getting my picture taken because I didn't want to get my picture taken. I didn't want it plastered all over the internet with the way I look. But thanks to Awaken 180 and losing over 100 pounds, you get more confidence. You can wear costumes now. You can be part of the family fun. It's just another benefit that Awaken 180 provides. It's a healthy lifestyle. I'm in the maintenance program now. It's absolutely awesome. Again, I cannot possibly recommend Awaken 180 enough. Losing weight has changed my life. If it's time to change your life, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. If I can do it, you can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Helmets and Heels.
Backed by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest of Pros.
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest of Pros.
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to restofprosneflorida.com. That's restofprosneflorida.com.
Rest of Pros.
After the lights go down on Friday night, 1010XL flips the switch.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Friday Night Lights.
With Hacker and Dylan Denmark. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is now available at the Fresh Market Spirits and Wine. The Fresh Market Spirits and Wine is a new adult beverage store offering spirits, wine, beer, and accessories at A1A North in Ponte Vedra, a first-of-its-kind destination for thoughtfully curated spirits, wine, and beer as only the Fresh Market can. And now, you can get Brackish Vodka at the Fresh Market. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Clogged toilet, too much paper, deeper blockages, or one of your child's Hot Wheels could be the culprit. Superior Plumbing and Pipeline and handles toilet clogs fast. If your toilet's clogged, make the superior choice. Learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Frank Franzi here for Coen & Son Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports memories. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? Do you know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coen & Sons. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coen & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. coiljacks.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, customtreesurgeons.com. That's customtreesurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Jacksonville Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coatings, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Join the fun with the franchise Angie Show live this Thursday from 2 to 4 at the newly reopened Firehouse Subs on University. Appearances from a Jags player, The Roar, Jackson DeVille, and the D-Line. Thursday from 2 to 4 at Firehouse Subs on University.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I-9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Coen Flowers. The Jaguars have announced their team captains ahead of the 2025 season. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence, defensive end Josh Hines-Allen, cornerback Jordan Lewis, linebacker Foye Oluokun, offensive lineman Robert Hainsey, and punter Logan Cook. Florida State shot up to number 14 in this week's AP poll, while Florida moves up 2 spots to number 13. It's 82 degrees at 3:03. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball. I had $1 million, but I'd spend it all if I could.
Oh, Sublime for you on this Tuesday
Yeah.
afternoon. And yes, I've had to remind myself several times today that today is Tuesday.
Oh, me too.
Yep. Papa Cap and Sancho. Love this song.
I do too. I love
Yeah.
Sublime in general. It was a big high school band for me.
Yep.
All right. I wanted to wrap college football talk a little bit, and RJ has a fantastic highlight package that we'll hear in just a second. But here are some betting notes when it comes to college football. Ohio State is the new favorite to win the national championship, passing Texas, Georgia, and Penn State. Ohio State has won 26 straight season openers.
Well,
Yeah. 26
impressive.
straight.
I hate them.
I hate them as well. Texas is now 4th at 15-2. I'm surprised Texas has that high of odds to win the national championship based off of, again, just week 1.
Yeah.
But certainly, like we said, Arch Manning didn't seem very comfortable. Alabama and Clemson went from 17-2 to win to 16-1 after their losses. So still certainly in the mix. And then when it comes to the Heisman Trophy, John Mateer is the new favorite. In case you didn't see, now granted, this was against Illinois State when Oklahoma won 35-3, but he was 30 of 37 for 392 yards and 4 touchdowns.
I wonder if he bet on it.
We shall
Check his Venmo.
Yeah, go through his Venmo for sure. But yeah, and like you talked about, Tom, and I know, Taylor, you're a big Joey Aguilar fan now with everything that happened to him. I feel like when you talk about week 1 winners and losers, like Josh Heupel, everyone's going to talk about Joey Aguilar. You should also talk about Josh Heupel,
for sure,
who got his quarterback ready and looked that poised. And granted, Syracuse lost a lot of talent by all means. But he lost his quarterback right before the spring game, and then Joey Aguilar looked the way he did, threw for 247 yards and ran too.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that when it first happened, and how I was saying, like, Josh Heupel already has been that guy to be able to develop quarterbacks, and he makes quarterbacks that maybe aren't so great look a lot better than what they end up being. And so props to him for that. But I also think in general, he built this entire team, and he's spent the last couple years building this team around Nico, and then to lose it at that point in the season, and then get Aguilar, who a lot of people weren't very high on anyways. But I mean, I feel like you want to talk about a winner in this situation. Yeah, congrats to Heupel, because I think it's really fun to see what he was able to do so quickly. But I also think Aguilar's probably like, heck yes, I got to leave that school, that hot mess right now, and I got to go learn under Josh Heupel now in Tennessee, who also has a better roster.
Right.
Like, ding ding for him.
Yeah, and have all that speed and wide out and whatnot. It just shows that Heupel's offense, can be grasped by people, by quarterbacks. And it just shows that he is a really good coach and bringing that kid in. And he did look poised. That didn't look like his first start for Tennessee.
No, it didn't.
He looked really
obviously
good,
has played college football, but hadn't played in a while. And yeah, for sure, first time for Tennessee. When it comes to our picks, by the way, Taylor and I picked Texas. Tom was the only one to get Ohio State, correct?
That one.
If we did game picker-uppers, by the way, our first 3, first 4, all of our 4 college football games would have been a game picker-upper. But either way, Taylor had FSU right. And I'm so glad, by the way, that we had the conversation last week of what if FSU wins.
Yeah.
Not that any of us thought FSU was necessarily going to win the football game. I think you picked FSU against the spread. But it was a good conversation to have, because look at what happened. When it came to LSU Clemson, I was the only one to get LSU. And then I was the only one to get Miami against Notre Dame. And then when it came to the wild cards, I know, Tom, put a lot of effort and research into Syracuse, Tennessee.
Damn it.
And
I'm not going to put this much time. This time.
Tennessee covered that spread of 13.5. Poor
I
Taylor.
got whooped,
yeah,
which is fine, honestly, because I wanted Nico to look bad. So I should have gone. I should have gone opposite.
Yeah.
I should have gone against him because I want him to. That feels mean me saying that, but I want him to fail because of the way that he acted. But and I went back and forth, but then I really didn't put much research into that. Honestly, I was like, oh crap, we have picks today. Let me try and find one that. And so I was trying to find one that was like relative to something I care about, and that storyline I thought was fun. But yeah, they got whooped.
Yeah, Utah beat them 43-10. That was one of the more lopsided ones.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure. And then I ended up going with South Carolina against Virginia Tech. I thought for sure
it was nerve-wracking for him.
It was that Virginia Tech was going to cover that spread of 7.5, but in the end, South Carolina won 24-11. All right, RJ, put this together to hear so you can hear how it sounded all weekend long.
Flagway throwing on the run. Wow. What a catch! One-handed grab for now Brown the third. As Javorian Barnes is out the gate, inside the 30, to the 10. Touchdown TCU, 75 yards and no flags.
What you envisioned of a college game, what this experience was like coming out and participating in that.
Yeah, it's a great environment tonight. I mean, fans were awesome. It's great energy in the stadium. You know, we just didn't do enough to keep it going. I mean, we got to play better for the energy to be sustainable.
Here's Castellanos to the outside, inside the 5, diving into that end zone with a stride. Touchdown, Knowles. Under pressure off his backside, up for grabs, and caught. C.J. Daniels, a tremendous one-handed catch. Say it. Looking, goes deep, say it! Tate! Touchdown! Tater!
Yeah, ultimately not good enough. Obviously, you don't want to start off the season 0-1. They're a good team, but I thought we beat ourselves a lot, and that starts with me, and I got to play better for us to win.
There you have it. Vernell Brown the third, his great catch. C.J. Daniels, his great catch. Sorry, Taylor. TCU last night just absolutely destroying North Carolina.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, Bill Belichick, pregame, during the game, postgame, I feel like he might be the biggest loser all week or all weekend long. And then
get a bigger hoodie on there, Coach.
Yeah, that chest
not very flattering.
Those pecs are not his chest days. I think he's skipping those, Tom. And then you also heard Julian Sayin, who I think Julian Sayin looked better than Arch Manning in that game for sure. But
not like incredible. I think he's still, to me, it was like he looked all right. And that's the other one I was thinking of, because when you talked about Ohio State, Texas, Notre Dame, Alabama, all of their new quarterbacks who were the young quarterbacks starting for the first time. I guess Arch technically had some games last year, but all of them struggled. And I feel like it's difficult to do when you're coming into a good opponent and as a young quarterback not having time, actually having game reps with your team to get going. It definitely took some time.
It did. Have you seen Texas's schedule, by the way? It's the opposite of Florida's. San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston are their next 3 games. So when Texas travels to Florida October 4th, Florida will have already played the likes of Miami and LSU and some top teams. And then, then they get Texas.
That QB saying, man, that's a marketing dream right there if he's any good.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying he's a good player. You know, he looked pretty good, though, overall. You know, I mean, nothing great, like you said, but it was, you know, once they finally started throwing the football, it was boring in the first half. I almost took a nap.
I know. I was like, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
That was a 3 o'clock game. Forget about it. I'd better sleep. First quarter.
I can understand that. All right, we've got more to do on the other side. It is 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Fall football keeps college campuses buzzing.
I'm RJ Saunders, and I'll help you slide into a college football Saturday with pregame news and notes.
On the Bueller Air and Plumbing College Kickoff.
Served up by Sonny's Barbecue.
Friday night at 6 on 1010XL.
Hey, fellow Floridians, it's Ben.
And Brianna Smith. We are foodies who love sharing recipes online.
And trying new cooking techniques on our new natural gas stove.
He loves his precise temperature control on the heat.
Yeah, I also love saving money and using less energy.
Oh, watch that flame.
So, we'll love to be in control.
Now earn up to a $300 cashback rebate for installing a new energy-efficient natural gas range or stovetop. To learn more, go to peoplesgas.com/rebates.
Lauren Brooks here. Are y'all ready to ditch your razors for good? Well, Hello Smooth Med Spa in St. John's is your go-to for laser hair removal that permanently reduces hair growth. With over 10 years in the community, 400 5-star reviews, and the latest technology, their team makes smooth, stubble-free skin easy. Packages include 9 sessions, and you'll see the results fast. Right now, enjoy 50% off laser hair removal packages. Be sure to let them know Lauren from 1010XL sent you. Visit hellosmooth.com or stop by for your free consultation. Your skin will thank you.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
Helmets and Heels.
Protected by
Green Law Group. For the insured. Fighting for you.
Discuss the beautiful game. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Get an hour of soccer talk Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
Your grandfather was stronger at 50 than you are at 40. Want to know why? His testosterone was 30% higher than yours. That's not genetics. That's modern life killing your hormones. Stress, chemicals, sitting, it's all crushing your T levels. Male Excel reverses it. Prescription testosterone, thyroid optimization, personalized to you. Over 100,000 men are already winning again. Your turn. Try MaleExcel.com. Free assessment because you deserve it. Your family deserves it.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee & Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey, it's Joe C. When was the last time you flushed out your water heater? Flushing a water heater each year improves its efficiency and extends its lifespan. So call Roland Reese Plumbing for a routine water heater flush out and any other plumbing needs. 260-7059. Roland Reese Plumbing.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Coen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Did I rob people of their free lunch, Taylor?
Oh, yes, you did.
I thought so.
You did.
I thought so.
We do. We have free lunch to Chick-fil-A to give away. So give us a call at 641-1010. Let's say caller number 3, you get free lunch to Chick-fil-A today.
I just wanted to make them wait a little while. They just can't expect
Have it on speed dial.
Assume it. Exactly. Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. All right, let's talk a little Jaguars-Panthers. We started at the top when Beasley was with us. talking about Ike Ekwonu, the offensive tackle who did have the emergency appendectomy on August 24th, but they say he might be okay for the game. So certainly that's something to monitor.
Okay.
And then we do know that the wide receiver, Jalen Coker, already placed on injured reserve with a quad strain. And so then you're also wanting to see what happens with Damian Lewis. Also, he's been injured. And so I feel like the Panthers, they're not coming to Jacksonville limping here by any means, but there are some key injuries to keep an eye out for. When it comes to the Jaguars, we get the formal injury report, the first one of the week tomorrow. I'm fascinated to see. Eric Armstead, is he fully cleared? Mason Smith, is he fully cleared? Tyson Campbell, you asked about that earlier, Tom. Travis Hunter, are all of them listed on the injury report with absolutely no injury designation whatsoever?
Man, I hope we're a healthy team, and then we can see where we're at least for week one. I was looking at Carolina from last year. Now, they have some new faces, obviously, but that O-line only gave up 36 sacks last year, and 29 were with Bryce Young. So maybe he held the ball. I don't know. I didn't break, obviously all those down, but not a bad O-line. They rushed the ball pretty well. Hubbard ran for, 5.2 yards a carry. He had 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. So I don't think their O-line is that bad, to be honest with you. Now, obviously, if they're banged up, that's going to be a problem for them. And we do expect I don't care who's out there, unless, maybe you're talking KC or Philly or somebody like that. I'm expecting our D-line to handle some business. It's so critical to have a badass defensive line, that can really just, help you with, the attitude of the team, with the culture, with the swag, with coming to play. On third down, you always got a chance. You're always going to give the ball back to your offense. You know what I mean? I expect them to eat and really make Bryce Young's day miserable.
Which is interesting because Andy Dalton was also injured a couple weeks ago. And so if something were to happen to Bryce Young, I think Andy Dalton's going to be healthy. Yeah. But they don't have any other quarterbacks on their roster right now.
And Andy Dalton is not a mobile guy that's going to be moving around at all. And it's just by a quick look, this is crazy. 15 of the sacks came in 3 games. That's what he had, 1 sack. New Orleans got him 4 times. Where was the other one? So New Orleans got him 4, Dallas got him 6 times, and Tampa got him 5 times last year. So those 3 games massively skewed, but so it's possible. It's those games that obviously, if that's happening and teams like that are able to get to him, Dallas obviously, and that was later in the season when he faced them and Tampa. But I do think there's a lot of other games where it's just 0 or 1, and so he's been able to get away and he's been able to get rid of the ball, and that was something I do think you saw him get a little bit better at last year. But that was something that frustrated a lot of Panthers fans. I think he took some unnecessary ones.
He got more confident and comfortable as the year went on. No doubt about that. But what we've seen from Anthony Campanile and how he's going to blitz and bring heat. I think Bryce Young's in for a very physical and could be a little bit challenging mentally for him because it's going to come at him. And I would too. I would be like, listen, I'm coming at. I wouldn't do that to Burrow.
Sure.
On occasion I would, but for me, if I'm the D coordinator I'm coming after you, son. And you better pray, say your prayers the night before because I'm going to bury you into the dirt one way or the other. And you absolutely could do that to a Bryce Young and any young quarterback for that matter. And I would expect Campanile, I'm going to give him the D. I expect him to be very aggressive.
DC Campanile.
DC,
You got it
right.
Then you're always right. Yeah, I do wonder if because Liam Coen, being from the NFC South last year, understands what the Panthers want to do a little bit better than the average first-time NFL head coach, right? And because he faced the Panthers twice last year in the last, I feel like, yes, he saw them get better, but he also knows a lot of the tendencies.
The weaknesses, Yeah,
and look, the connection is Canellis was their offense coordinator before Liam, right? So if there's one game he wants to win to start off, it's if Tampa would be number 1, I would think, but Carolina with that connection and show that he's the better coach, he's the better, coordinator, whatnot, and it just make it that much sweeter to beat Carolina and, your very first game as head coach.
And that's some of the things. There's certain quarterbacks when you're talking about, Tommy, the difference. Well, there's a lot of differences between Bryce Young and Joe Burrow. But when you talk about quarterbacks who, if you pressure Joe Burrow, he's going to make you pay for some of those mistakes that you do. If you're blitzing and sending guys, he knows how to take advantage of that. Not saying it always completely works out, but he's one of those guys doesn't turn the ball over a lot in the red zone, doesn't turn the ball a lot when it's big down situations and things like that. Bryce Young had issues there. Bryce Young, when he was pressured, that's when his interceptions came.
Yep.
And so if you can do that, and that's a young quarterback thing, you know, they start to panic a little bit and just try and get rid of it. They don't want to take a sack, so they throw it, and the bad interceptions end up happening. But if you can take advantage of that week one, that's probably the thing that Coach Camp has to be looking at is obviously you want those pressures, but make him start making some of those sloppy mistakes from getting in his head a little bit.
Now, if you can't stop them running the football, he'll have success.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He will, because that play action always hurts everybody.
Yeah,
But
and then that's the same on the flip side. If the Jaguars can't run the football and you're putting it all on Trevor, how comfortable is he with that in this offense?
I'm more comfortable than if Bryce Young's got to do it. You know what I mean? By far. I mean, Trevor, if I got to compare the two, I'm going with Trevor all day long. But look, both teams are going to have to run the football, in order for their quarterback to get comfortable and get in rhythm. I'm looking forward to seeing if we can. I mean, look, they get Derek Brown back, who was hurt all last year.
One of their captains.
Yeah, and he's not a big sack guy, but he had 103 tackles like 2 years ago from a DN position. That's a lot. They play a 3-4. So he's probably that strong defensive end. They got new backers, two guys from Minnesota, a couple second-year players.
Yep.
So
and J.C. Horn in the secondary.
The
battle between he and Brian
and
Thomas Jr.
Morig from the Saints, Trevon Morig. So they got listen. Every team's got players. Sure. That's the thing. No disrespect to college, but you can tell when some team has way more better players than in the NFL. It's more about how they execute and if they're disciplined and if they don't create penalties and they don't. Have turnovers or things like that. For the most part, they all could play football. Or they wouldn't be on the team for that matter.
Yeah, and that's when, especially early on, and this is the conversation of how long does it take certain things to get going, and every team is going to be different in that. And we've had a lot of conversations of why the Bengals played Joe Burrow, because they felt like they had those slow starts. We didn't see a lot of the starters in this preseason. So how long is it going to take for the Jag starters to start looking like what we think they can look like? And then vice versa, with the time that the starters for Carolina did play, how much is that going to help them? How much how much quicker are they going to be able to come out and start? And that's going to be some of the conversations too, because there is a lot of new here. And by the way, Liam Coen and Coach Camp both kind of doing their first times also in a game that matters, in a game where that win-loss record matters.
I'm just so glad we don't have to say, Tom, like, how long do you think the starters are going to play? We've moved past that part of football, and we've now made it to the regular season where they really care.
I'm interested. I mean, I'm interested in a lot of things, but how's my D-line interior going to look? Is it Armstead and
Devon
Smith,
Hamilton?
or is it Devon?
My guess is
first one off the bench?
Right. My guess is, so this is my guess, just based off of what we've seen.
Yep.
My guess would be starting on the interior, it's Devon Hamilton and Eric Armstead.
Yeah, I agree.
The first one off the field, my guess would be Devon Hamilton and Colin Saunders would go in. And then I don't know if Mason Smith will be available. I'm assuming that he will be. And then, they can rotate Eric with Mason.
So Colin for the run game, I would imagine. He's got a little shake, though. I saw that when he played us. But that's interesting because, well, I guess D-Ham would get the nod. But I bet you they're chomping at the bit. If you don't do it, like against the run especially, they're going to throw in Saunders. They have to.
Quickly.
You have to stop the run. And then on the passing downs, I would imagine that Mason Smith comes in, I would think first.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe they move Trayvon down and put Gardeck out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're
Or
waiting to see if he's going to
somewhere,
contribute the pass rush role.
Yeah, if Trayvon moves inside to Smoot Goat, is it Gardeck?
Smoot, Gardeck,
Ogba. Like, you have a lot of options that you did not have last year whatsoever.
By the way, all you Smoot fans who thought he was wearing 58.
Yeah. Now
I feel sorry for him.
I mean, that's why you wait until pretty much the season starts.
That's right.
But I will say James Gladstone was talking about Dwan Smoot in his most recent availability last week, and he said Dwayne. And I was no. James, it's Dwan.
The
Trust
ghost
me.
of Urban Meyer. Didn't know any of his players.
Exactly. All right, so Coach Coen, Liam Coen, did meet with media yesterday post-practice, and since we were just talking about Trevor Lawrence, here he is on his quarterback, T-Law, in his first game.
It's hard to tell, especially when they haven't fully, it hasn't truly occurred, right? We can almost set it up a little bit in practice, but, practice is typically pretty structured, as you kind of mentioned. So I'm curious to see. I'm excited to see how he just goes through and plays within the game, because you can dial stuff up that is intended to go in what direction to whomever, but maybe the coverage changes or dictates it. And I'm eager to see kind of how he'll handle those situations and handle all right, well, this didn't work out exactly how we wanted it to. How do you just find a completion, right? Like that we have typically on each play 5 eligibles, right? And so whether it's a check down, oh man, they gave us a completely different look, wasn't what we wanted, man, just check the ball now, we get 4 or 5 yards and we keep the thing moving. So that'll be really important for Trevor, especially in a week 1 where you don't know what you're going to get, right? We have an idea. You can go off the tape and the stats and all that. It gets thrown out the window at times, especially in week 1. So it'll be very important for him to be able to live in that gray. Man, this isn't exactly what we were hunting up. How can we continue to find a completion and take care of the football?
Yeah, that's a long-winded, just take what's given.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what he's saying. He's like, look, I'm going to draw it up. You're going to have an opportunity, but if you read the defense and they got it covered, just check it down.
Yeah.
Just get rid of the ball. Get it going. Keep the positive momentum moving, and that's rhythm.
Yeah.
Right? That's how you got to get your quarterback into that rhythm. So, and that's running the football. That's him running the football on occasion. That's obviously him completing what is given to him. So I think that's what it really comes down to, Taylor. Like, that's what he's preaching. Like, look, we're going to draw it up. Sometimes it's going to be there, and you got to make it happen. But sometimes it's not.
And how do you react in those moments?
How are you going to do it?
Yeah,
right.
Because I do think that you've seen a lot of situations and a lot of moments of Trevor where you've seen him manage that well, but then you've seen him not. You've seen moments where it completely, when things don't go, that first read didn't work, it would turn into panic mode. He's turning out of phantom pressures and things just go crazy, and that's when mistakes happen. That's when the fumbles would happen or bad interceptions happen, or you're just going backwards and you're taking bad sacks. You've seen both from Trevor, so you and Liam Coen obviously is wanting to get more of that good of him being able to see the positive things and taking. Sometimes it means just throwing the ball away. Sometimes it means tucking the ball. Don't let it get out of your hands. Don't lose the ball. And so I do think those are definitely things, and we've seen it in practice. Those are things that they've definitely been working on and they want Trevor to get better at. And so I do think that something like that is going to be really good for Trevor, though, because those were the frustrating moments of Trevor Lawrence when it's just kind of like, why? Why did that exact moment happen?
Well, like last year, we spent, it must have been a month on the throw that ended the Eagle game. It was first down to Duke Johnson, right? Duke? Was it Duke? What was his name? I'm sorry. His last name was Johnson. Number 2, I liked him as a running back.
Dearness Johnson.
There was a Duke Johnson that played football. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
He played in Miami, and so it took me a second.
But anyway, they call it up.
Right, but why were you throwing the football to Dearness Johnson in that moment? But either way.
It doesn't matter. You call it up. If he's open, you hit him. If he's not open, don't throw it. It's first down. And you just live another day. That's what Liam's talking about. Like, you don't have to force these things. I'll get you the guy open. We got to protect him now. That's part of the thing.
But it's coming from having Baker, too, which Baker understands what to do in those situational moments because he's played more football, but he also probably has been around just other teams.
He's better.
He's been in other games.
At this point.
He's been to so many teams at this point, so he's been around it. But he is a better quarterback right now. And that's, I think, the frustrating thing is, like, we've seen Doug Peterson get frustrated with Trevor. How does Liam Coen voice that frustration and without getting to the media, that part of things?
Yeah. Well, I think he's a great communicator, and he's shown that already. And I'll go back to one of his first things he ever said. He's like, we're going to be really honest with everybody. And that's the only way to do it. You communicate it. You be honest. You praise them when they do well. You critique them when they don't. Make sure they fix it. And everybody should be happy.
Absolutely. All right, more to do on the other side, including today's Terminix Pest of the Day. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Playmakers make special plays.
That right there, that's special.
Special plays make the special teams player of the game.
Winning football players who can step up in a clutch moment.
After the game, pump up the Superior Plumbing Special Teams player of the game on 1010XL.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I've been telling you about my daughter's journey with Awaken 180 as she tries to lose a little weight. In fact, last week you heard from Amber herself. Well, let me give you an update. She's been in it just a little over 2 months. Amber has lost 51 pounds. That's a real number. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it happen. She has lost 51 pounds. And here's why. Awaken 180 is not a diet. It's a lifestyle change that is sustainable. And she has figured that out. She loves the journey. She loves the new recipes. She loves that she fits into her old clothes and she sleeps better and has more energy. And it is really, really working. She's proud, and man, am I proud of her. If you want to start your transformation, you can do the same thing. Call 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. My daughter's lost 50 pounds and she's so excited about it. You can as well. 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Helmets and Heels. Backed by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Randy Taylor in Jacksonville at 904-642-2400.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
It's time for the Plumbing 411 from Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. It's not just annoying when your toilet keeps running long after you flush, it's also costly because it could waste hundreds of gallons of water a day. A running toilet's often caused by worn out flappers, corroded valves, or a faulty float. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining will fix the problem fast, which can help lower your water bill. Stop the running and start saving today. Make the superior choice when your toilet won't stop running, and learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Denny Thompson here. Look, don't get left in the dark. We're all trying to reason with hurricane season, so at least be prepared. For top-of-the-line generators in Jacksonville, I turn to Tyson. Licensed pros at Tyson deliver reliable, whole-home standby generators and provide fast repair service. They even do custom installations for local businesses, so don't wait. Ensure seamless installation and peace of mind. Call Tyson now, 904-762-1000 for a free estimate on generator services. TysonInc.com.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Calling all poker players. The Best Bet Summer Swing Series kicks off August 18th at Best Bet Orange Park with a $200 no-limit hold'em and a $100,000 guarantee. Next stop, Best Bet St. Augustine with a $150,000 guaranteed poker tournament. Then wrap it up Labor Day weekend in Jacksonville with a massive $300,000 guarantee. Play all three events and swing for big winnings. Get all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Pretty sure this is the song that the Frangie Show uses to open up their show every single day. So right now, I feel like Frank and Hayes should be in here.
I didn't think Frank did drugs.
He doesn't, but he starts every show with, here's today's new drug.
Oh.
And so it's definitely this song. Yeah, so it does
New
feel
drugs.
like, I feel like listeners out
Was
there
this song
are like,
called Drugs?
It's called Want a New Drug.
Yeah, Want a New
Yeah,
Drug.
you should know this. It's the 80s.
Who is this? Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis in the news, yeah.
I never say in the news. Sorry, Huey's
Huey.
band.
In
I
the
always just say
news.
Huey Lewis.
Yep.
The poor bands really always get the shaft, right? Like, some people
the name.
Tom's like, I understand. Like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Sometimes people say in the Heartbreakers,
Right.
but a lot of
Not
times it's Tom
often.
Petty.
Right, right.
There's a lot of those that, like, you know, I just feel like Gladys Knight and the Pips. Did the Pips get enough notoriety?
Who are the
Or is it
Pips?
just Gladys Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Poor
Gladys.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
Like when they're naming it, the singer's like, I'll say in the band. And then they'll never say it. And they're like, see?
Right. Like, who are the band members of Bon Jovi other than Richie Sambora? Do you know any of the others?
I don't, but
Right.
I'm not the biggest Bon Jovi fan, and I became less of a Bon Jovi fan in 2017 when the Jaguars, Taylor was there. The Jaguars played the Patriots in Foxborough,
Oh,
and
I
the Jags
heard-
were
yeah.
winning until like Bon Jovi played a song.
Turned it all around.
And
Living
then
on a
that
prayer.
3rd and 18 happened, and they
Yeah.
were living on a prayer,
was
and
not
then
fun.
Miles
Yeah.
Jack was not. Miles Jack wasn't down according to the refs, and Well, we say he wasn't down. The ref said Miles Jack was down. Yeah.
Well, now they say he wasn't down.
Exactly. Yeah. They've flip-flopped. Exactly. Yeah. Thanks a lot. All right. Time now for today's Terminix Pest of the Day is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix, Terminix.com. That's how you find them online. They will come give you a free inspection. They can take care of Everbank Stadium, VyStar Ballpark, VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena because they do such a great job. All of your favorite event venues around town, residential, commercial, you name it. They take care of all the pest control at our house, and they do a fabulous job. Today's Pest of the Day is ESPN. Last night, they gave us one college football game on Labor Day.
Yeah.
They didn't start it until 8 o'clock, and then the score ended up being 48-14.
Yeah.
A lot of us were excited to have college football yesterday on our day off, and to not have it until 8 o'clock is just highway robbery by ESPN. But also, you gave us TCU-UNC, which was atrocious. Like, you could have given us a much better game last night. I should not have had to wait all day for that game, and then for that game to be as bad as it was. I guess I suppose also Bill Belichick and the entire North Carolina team is also
Probably
the pest of the day.
not happy,
Yeah, well, listen, TCU really thumped them. They got a pretty decent team. They got some speed
They were in the
on that
national
team.
championship a few years ago.
Yeah, that's right. They were. Well, the hype for
I mean, they got crushed by
Belichick.
Georgia, but still.
Yeah. I mean, the
we
hype
didn't
for
need
Bills.
it. Bill
I
Belichick
agree.
is
I
his
agree.
personality is washed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I understand he was a really good football coach, but at this point in his life, I don't think UNC should have hired him to be a college football coach. The whole stuff with the girlfriend is a whole nother story. She takes a phone call in the middle of the game because she
All the
looks so
70-year-old
bored.
guys are out there like, what's the problem?
Yeah, I said when this happened, I said this is going to be an Urban Meyer situation, but opposite. Like that pro coach college and that flop. It's not. I didn't think it was going to work. I just feel like he's too. You could barely connect with the NFL players anymore with the way that you coached and the way that things have kind of turned into. And college football is number one, getting closer and closer to the NFL when it comes to NIL and all these other things. But they're young and like you just don't relate to that anymore. And we had all the jokes about the girlfriend will help and blah blah blah. But in all reality, it's just that type of coaches. And I mentioned this earlier, getting less and less that we're seeing them anyways. And so I do think also you go back and there was a lot of criticism towards the end of Bill Belichick, even with Tom Brady, of that's the way that fell apart and the way how bad the drafts were and all of these things towards the end of his tenure and there. So I just don't really know why people thought this was automatically going to be a good thing. And to your point, Lauren, his personality has always sucked, but when you win Super Bowls, it kind of hides some of that. And you can have those face space comments and people will giggle because you're winning Super Bowls and they're like, oh, he's still doing it even though he has no idea what's going on in the real world. But it's not funny anymore. It's boring and it's just, it's not a good time.
I think the idea was
It's not a good time.
with the NIL, and it's kind of like pro football. And he had said, we're going to run this program like a professional football organization. We'll see if that works. It didn't look very good last night.
Those big money boosters have to be mad.
If somebody's going to run your team like an NFL team, it would be Belichick, right? I mean, he's got Mike Lombardi, who has a general manager.
Several schools.
Now they do,
it started
right?
to happen.
That's
Like
new.
Andrew Luck is the GM of Stanford.
I saw it, but that's kind of a new thing, right?
It is newer, yes. They've decided to do more of the pro personnel model.
I'll tell you what I thought was kind of pesty, if I may, is that Florida State got fined $50K for the kids running out on the field. What's the big deal?
So every conference has a different amount, and if Florida State, for instance, rushed the field again, then they'd get fined even more. It's an automatic thing.
Well, why
it's not a
can't they rush the
discretionary
field?
thing.
What's the big deal?
But didn't you kind of think Florida State shouldn't rush the field? They've won national championships, like the most recent one 11 years
It was
ago.
a massive win.
Yeah.
They sucked last year. Everyone thought they sucked this year. And
Especially the way it happened. If it would have been
I
by
think
like
you
a
should rush the
field goal, I'd be like, I don't know. But the way that they beat them and looked embarrassed Alabama.
They did. They did. They beat them up good. So
I'd rush the field.
I don't know. I'm not a field rusher type person.
Yeah,
like
me
I
neither.
wouldn't rush out there, but I get the kids doing it. You
So
know?
my cousin who graduated from Florida State literally texted me and was like, "This is embarrassing. We are Florida State. We should not be storming the field."
You won 2 games last
play
year.
on the
You-
team?
yeah.
What's this wee stuff? You know what I mean? You got a mouse in your pocket for crying out loud. I don't know. I think, look, it's an emotional game. It's a passionate game. They were terrible last year. Nobody really thought they were going to win other than somebody in this room, and it wasn't me. But they pulled it off, and it was a great victory. Now, do I want them doing that every game? No, of course not.
Yeah.
But against Bama, who was 8th in the country after what you went through last year, and your quarterback
And the way
talking
that the
smack,
season
and he
before
backed it.
ended.
Yeah.
I
There's
get
a
it.
lot
Okay
of
with
built up everything. You didn't even have full fans last year, so you never really got that true full environment of college football either. And
Those
so
fans were spared.
yeah, last year they were like, "That good thing we didn't have to go." But it's still, when you miss all of that and they didn't have to celebrate much the couple games. I don't even remember if it was at home or on the road. But yeah, that
One
doesn't
was
bother
on the
me.
road, one was at home last year.
I think we see big when it's big games, and to them to anybody beating Alabama at home week 1, especially if you're counted out of that, it was a 2-score favorite that Alabama was during that game. So I think that's a big deal, and I think it also is kind of just like, okay, this season's different, and they felt that vibe, and it's fun.
But don't jump out again.
Yeah.
Unless it's
not in week 2.
At the end, if maybe you win the tie. I don't know.
Sure.
Like it's a massive game, but I thought it was warranted.
We can agree to disagree. Totally fine.
Yeah.
FSU fans, hit us up on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010. Tell us what you think, what you would have done if you were
Someone
there.
said your cousin must be fun at parties.
My cousin, truth be told, actually was in Vegas. She went the week after we were there for a DJ and was having a blast, is what she said. There's a lot of...
Nice.
I suppose Circa's not the only place with live music and pools in Vegas, and so that's where she was enjoying.
The house thumping music.
Right. Yeah, that's her jam, so she loves that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, one segment to go here on Helmets and Heels on 1010X on 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
60 days from now, you'll be one of these two guys. The first guy, sluggish, foggy, and feeling like he just can't keep up like he used to. The second guy, driven, strong, and confident. Why? Male Excel's breakthrough microdosing protocol, a daily low-dose testosterone. You don't have to be the first guy anymore. Be the second guy. Take the same steps he took. Try MaleExcel.com. 100,000 men chose wisely. Your move.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
I'm Frank Franzi, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee. Man, it's incredible. Just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. I was so impressed. It's about connecting with nature, with food, with community. And now you can own your very own handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm. Everything you need is there. You'll hardly need to go grocery shopping. Learn more about all of it at okefarm.com. That's OKEfarm.com, the farm at Okefenokee.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Joe C. When was the last time you flushed out your water heater? Flushing a water heater each year improves its efficiency and extends its lifespan. So call Roland Reese Plumbing for a routine water heater flush out and any other plumbing needs. 260-7059. Roland Reese Plumbing.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed stick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
We had a couple on the text line text in. Someone said that that Florida has never rushed the field at home. I didn't know if that. I Googled it. It does say they have never rushed the field at home. I just said sounds boring. But they said we just hold them to a higher standard. You expect to win. I get that.
We're so classy.
But someone else said somebody.
It's not allowed. That's part of it.
The 7380 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosure, said I may not have been the first one to jump on the field, but after one, I likely would have followed.
I like when the kids fall over the hedges and stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's in Georgia between the hedges.
Yeah,
You've definitely seen women especially get trapped in the hedges.
Jacob Simons, obviously, he was there for the game, taking pictures, and he's a Knowles fan, so he was very excited. So he said at first the way you have to leave was on the opposite side of the field of where he was standing, but it was also where everybody was going and where Norvell was. So he was like, I had to run into the madness, and he was like, he dropped his phone. His phone's all like scraped up and crazy now at this point. He said his camera equipment was just getting kicked around everywhere, but he did it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
So
I saw a thing. I think it was on Twitter. It was something, but it was Molly McGrath after a game, and she had to run to the middle of the field to get the interview. You know, the girl from ESPN.
Yeah,
she's a BC girl. So, but she was in like not heels, but I was like, man. And then she wasn't out of breath when she got there.
Very impressive.
And then you got to do the interview.
Yeah.
And when she's running, like they got a camera guy behind her, and like people are everywhere, and she's dodging them and trying to get there. And then she does the interview. I was like, man, you got to be in pretty good shape to do that stuff.
Yeah, and most
I didn't
of the
know you
time
had to do
these
that.
days you don't see many women wearing heels. Like most of the time
Wasn't
now,
heels, but it was whatever those are.
The shoe attire I feel like for sideline reporters has changed to where now they'll still wear like a dress or a top and a skirt,
they'll still have
then they'll
sneakers
wear,
a lot.
Yeah, sneakers because you do have to sometimes sprint. And you don't want to obviously also leave divots if it's a true grass
or
field.
break an ankle.
Or break it goes down into this. I'm worried about the field. You're worried about your ankles. Same difference.
I'm worried about the heel of the shoe.
But yeah, they usually have some sort of help, the sideline reporters do, to be able to get the head coach or to get the quarterback or things like that, especially when there is chaos on the field. Look, I'm not anti-storming a court or storming the field. I just feel like if you are a program like Florida State where you have multiple national championships, one, like I said, 11 years ago with Jameis Winston, then I don't know that this is the case to do it. But you know what? If you want to do that and the way that last year went, by all means. I was just telling you from a Florida State fan's perspective.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure there's
people,
both sides.
Yeah, and I know people who went to the game and they decided to stay in the stands and not storm the field. It's probably more of a student section type thing.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? Enjoy the win. Poor Taylor had a rough weekend. Notre Dame loses to Miami. Florida State wins, and LSU wins.
Yeah, I didn't mind Florida State because I think I hate Alabama more than I do Florida State. So that one was one of those things where I was like, I'd rather Florida. The Florida State hatred is newer. It was only since from that offensive pass interference game. The Alabama I've just disliked since I was a kid. But especially back to the national championship. But yeah, I was like, Brian Kelly won, Notre Dame lost. I was like, this is awful. And then our boss Steve, when I walked in, he was like, you had the trifecta this weekend. I was like, what was the third? And he was like, Green Bay got Michael Parsons. I was like, well, he has a backache.
And if the back is real. It sounds
real
like he might need an epidural.
Jeez.
So for all the shade that we threw because you have the same agent as Jalen Ramsey and David Moretta, we're sorry, Micah. We do
Maybe
apologize.
Jerry was smart. Maybe that back's an issue.
I mean,
why would you pay him all that money if he's got a back problem?
Well, until I guess I see him not having a season with double-digit sacks, then I'm still going to question.
But did we hear about the back problem prior to this season?
No.
You know what I mean? Was he?
This offseason they were saying it like you knew there was an injury, and then the back came up where it was saying he had a back injury, but everyone just thought it was just being like, oh, yeah, he has a back injury. But then now it really is, and it's a sprain. I was talking to my stepdad who had something similar, and he was like, this could be bad.
L4, L5?
L4, L5
that's where mine goes, too.
Yeah.
That thing hurts like crazy. And he's going to get some epidural.
Yep.
I just think giving someone $188 million that might have a back problem is pretty risky. no matter how great they are.
I can understand that sentiment, but I feel like the Packers are a pretty good organization when it comes to that kind of stuff. Yeah, and so I do feel like Brian Gutekunst, is that how you say that?
Houston thought they had Baselli for 2 years. They got 0 out of him. Not that it's that same thing, you know what I mean? They probably thought, oh, we're getting Tony Baselli. It's going to be great. And then he never plays for it. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then when you had Peyton Manning, who did get, like, everyone, the neck thing, and then everyone was concerned about the neck, and then he wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah, won a Super Bowl with Denver.
Yeah, right.
No issues
So
there.
you never really know. I guess Green Bay just feels like that's their piece that could complete it. And if they get even an 80% Michael Parsons, that's good for them maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, still better than most.
Yeah.
All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Always better than most. Hayes Carlin joins us. Did you enjoy the 55-0 game on Saturday night?
Yeah, it was anytime you can hold your opponent to 86 yards, that's and 2 first downs, that's spectacular.
Who impressed you more? Sorry, Hayes. VB3, Vernell Brown III, or Tramel Jones Jr.?
Tramel, just because playing quarterback requires so much more. And, I mean, again, you could say, well, he did it against the Long Island reserves. Well, VB3 did it against Long Island starters, and I don't know that there's a big difference there. So I would say Tramel, just because for him to be a true freshman and run the operation when everybody thought he'd be fourth going into fall camp, which means he probably didn't start getting good reps until probably halfway through camp when they were like, look, this guy might be ready to play. I thought he was outstanding. Napier talked about his velocity, the spin rate, all that stuff. But just knowing where to go, he was layering throws. They were good operationally, even though he was playing with Rubio and Spirito and, guys that might be smart players, but aren't exactly, we're not talking future NFL players here. So, I thought he was really impressive. So we'll certainly get to all that coming up on the Frangie Show. We'll talk about FSU's big win, Miami's big win. JJ was there for that, and get you, fired up for the Jaguars. So it should be a lot of fun. Jeff Danzler, I think, is going to join Frank to talk Georgia football and SEC football coming up as well. So it should be a fun Frangie Show coming up.
All right. Thanks, Hayes.
Thank you.
Jeff Danzler does a terrific job covering the Georgia Bulldogs, who easily mishandled or took care of business against Marshall. I'll get it
Marshall, right.
Yeah. They JJ, by the way, was telling me the story because I just asked. I was like, "You had fun. I know you had fun. You guys won." But he was like, "It was like a hurricane down there all of a sudden." And he was telling the story. He had a very bad mishap with the tent. It almost flew away while they were tailgating. He was trying to hold it down by himself, and because Blake was in the car, and it was like this whole ordeal. And I was like, man, I wish you guys would have lost after that.
A hurricane for the Hurricanes, but then they still got the victory.
Got it done, man. It was a big win for them.
It's so much fun. You get to tailgate when it's nice weather, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But you get to tailgate, and then you go into the stadium, and your team wins. Like,
it's the best.
There's no better feeling. All right, that'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, for RJ Saunders, for Tom McManus, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next, so keep it right here on 1010XL.